This is the Newsload.
Hello, Jean-Paul. It's so good to see you.
Hello, Carrie Anne. How are you?
I'm amazing. Welcome to Newsload.
Thanks for having me. I'm super honored to be be participating.
Super honored. Come on. Don't make me blush.
I don't ever take it for granted when anyone asks me to do anything. I don't. I really don't. So, I really appreciate the gesture. I really do.
Well, I'm going to confess on camera that we've known each other for over 20 years. And every time I see you on social media or in person or on stage, you're adorable. So, but you're polite and a gentleman, and I can't even imagine your fan club. What's the situation? Are you like Patrick Swayze now? Like,
I totally wish I was like Patrick Swayze. But my entire modus operandi is the world can be a tough place at the best of times, and at the worst of times, even so if I can at least do my best to, because it's all about exchange of energy ultimately, you know what I mean, which is why I enjoy comedy so much as well. It's all about exchange of energy, and if I can exchange a little bit of positive energy with one person and then they pass that on to someone else and like well a balsam, so on and so on, and they told two friends and they told two friends, and so at least I would like to believe I'm trying to leave the world in a slightly better place than I came into it with. So, and that's ultimately what it's all about.
amazing, amazing. How long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
Woo, I mean, you're already talking. We've known each other for 20 years plus, so let's just leave it at 20 years plus. Let's leave it at that. Let's not age both of ourselves. Let's let people do their own research.
Okay. So in December of 2022, just before Christmas, what are you doing with yourself right now? Everybody wants to know.
I've been super busy between doing a tour, a comedy show tour with myself and another very, very funny friend of mine by the name of Ron Jostle, the Brown Bag Tour. I've been an on-air correspondent with Breakfast Television probably for the last year and 3 months, and
You're very funny on Breakfast Television.
You know what? It's fun.
Are you up at 4 in the morning?
Not every morning. When I have to help co-host, I'm up at 4 because I got to be in to do all the makeup and be there for the entire show. But when I do the on location, or as I call myself, for those of you who may know the reference, I call myself the Black Jennifer Valentine. She's like an on location. Used to be an on-location correspondent, on-air correspondent, and I do like maybe anywhere between 2 to 3 segments, depending upon the show. And sometimes I might have to be up at 5, 5:30, 6. But the earliest I would have to be up is 4. But at the end of the day, I know I get to come home when it's all done and at least take a small nap before I resume my day, unless I have somewhere to go immediately after that, which is.
How is your napping? Are you a melatonin person, or do you just like naturally hit the pillow?
Naturally hit the pillow. I've heard of melatonin, and I've never had to do the research, and I've never had to dabble. Sleep comes. I mean, I'm from the Caribbean, so sleeping comes easy, man. So we got that laid back kind of disposition, so it helps. It's in our DNA.
Being able to, like, I want to be on the beach right now. I'm in London, Ontario, Canada, and it's 2 degrees Celsius right now. But
I'd love to be right there with you. Not in London, but at the beach.
At the beach, man. So I guess, now we're on this topic. How do you say hello?
Where? In Trinidad?
Yes.
Just, well, we don't necessarily say hello. We usually pack everything into one, and we just be like, what going on? So we just ask you, how are you doing? You good? Which is hello, how are you? Things all right? Hope everything's cool. It's all, it's a multi-leveled, multi-purpose, phrasing. So, but normally it's just, hey, bye, that kind of thing. So very simple.
What's an Irie man?
Irie is Jamaican, which means everything is just cool. Everything is Irie. Everything is cool. Everything is chill. You know what I mean?
Is
Irie is a state you want to go, is what you want to be. You want to be Irie. Everybody wants to. That's the level of Zen. That's the Jamaican Zen. You want to be Irie, man. Everything Irie.
Does that mean all right?
Um, I guess, yeah. I mean, if someone asks you how you feeling, you'd be like, Irie, man, I'm Irie. Everything Irie, which means everything's okay. Everything's
All
good.
right. Okay. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
How do you stay healthy on the road?
How do I stay healthy? I'm for the last good few years, and I'd probably say maybe within the last 7 to 8 years, I've been very conscious about what I do on the road, because as much as I would like to think that I can do the same things I did when I was a younger comic, I know that I can't. So I try to at least eat healthier. I mean, I still like wings and all the junk stuff that comes along with it, but I make better choices, and I actually work out. I actually work out on the road, do a little bit of weightlifting, do yoga, meditation. Sometimes I run. Walking is always good. If you can't run, walk. People think walking is not as effective, but it's very effective. You still get your heart rate up and you get a nice little sweat and get your legs and blood flowing. So don't
I was
ever
just
underestimate the
talking
power
with
of walking.
Manolo Zantanos yesterday. I'm sure
Oh
you're
yes, of course. I just saw Manolis in Hamilton when Brown Bag passed through.
yes. And he was saying, I'm walking. I discovered that we need sun every day. And
Yes,
I'm like, yeah, we're like plants like
I
that.
completely agree. When I don't think I'm going to get sun, I actually take vitamin D just to make sure that whatever I can't get from the sun, I can, at least put into my body. So
So
I'm
basically,
very
the
aware.
schedule is 4 a.m. wake up, breakfast, television, nap, exercise, eat. Like, how are you doing this?
Well, it depends, because luckily for me, breakfast TV isn't every day. But my mornings still start off early because I still have two teens, and so I got to get them up for school and make sure that they're ready and get their
Are you a
breakfast and their
single
lunch. And
father?
no, I'm a single mom, and I'm very married. But she's got the real 9 to 5, so I don't necessarily like to bog her down while she's getting ready to do what she needs to do.
Okay.
And it doesn't take much for me to make sure that everybody else, I make lunch for her and breakfast for her and all that kind of good stuff. So I want to make sure everybody, again, it's all about the exchange of energy. You know what I mean? I want everybody to be Irie. You know what I mean? So I make sure that everyone's taken care of, and then once I take care of everyone else, I can then turn my attention to taking care of myself. And so usually when I don't have anything to do, or like I said, we just wrapped 42 weeks of a weekly sketch show that we were shooting, myself, Rob Pugh, Chuck Byrne, and Shannon Laverty. And on the off days when everyone gets sent off, then make myself a coffee, make myself a nice little nice jug of water, and then hit the bike. I got a bike downstairs and throw on a little music, and I ride for about 30, 35, 40 minutes. And if I want to lift some weights, I'll lift some weights. And just again, just trying to get the blood flowing. I want to be around for a while. That's the main goal. I want to be around to be funny for a long time.
That's
As you
amazing.
know, comics lifestyles tend to be super, super destructive when it comes self-destructive, the older we get, because we think we could still do the same things we did when we were in our 20s, which we can't.
Well, I guess we need to look at the history of vaudeville and comedy in the beginning being the traveling circus. The humanity and the rules were pretty much nil. So
Correct.
you just did what you were told, almost like a prisoner on the road kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They fed you, they made you train if you were an acrobat or whatever, and then there was the MC, the
The
joke.
ringleader. Yeah. You're basically back then, and even up until recently, we were circus animals, and it was whips get cracked, and some of the things, some of the behavior by the people who don't perform are kind of geared towards keeping you in that mindset. So instead of paying you, you get drink tickets, or you get you get to order free off the menu. So and the menus are super limited, and it wasn't until
Or you can sleep with my wife, here you go.
I haven't booked that gig yet. Who books that? Who books out?
Vancouver.
Okay, good to know. All right. Expedia, here I come.
They have a nude beach. It's all very weird.
Really? Do they have a nude beach in Vancouver? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do.
All right. I
I
know the one
couldn't
we have in
go though
Toronto.
because all my dad's buddies were there, so I was not gonna run into my dad's buddies in my 20s. So it's just
Oh, they would have
I never
loved that.
went. I never
And
went.
the good thing for you back then, at least there were no camera phones. So at least,
Right? Oh my
so
gosh,
at
can't
least
even
you were set.
imagine.
Yeah.
No, I definitely am, a little bit of the Nintendo generation, but not enough that, my 90s were clean.
I agree. I agree. We escaped. It was all word of mouth. So
Where all the bicycles were at in the front lawn is where we all gathered.
that's what I like. I mean, I'm still kind of that way. I'm still that way inclined. You know what I mean? Like I love pulling up to, well, then again, it's tougher now because people take Ubers, but I used to love pulling up to a party or a hangout session and just see like the streets just lined with cars and stuff like that. It's like, oh, this is going to be good. But everyone takes Uber now because everyone's responsible.
So what's the weirdest gig you've been paid for, and how much did you get paid to do it?
I think one that I still remember that I got booked for was coincidentally it was around Christmas. So it was like a Christmas corporate and it was somebody's company. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. And then they gave me the address. And again, this is before like, Waze and Google Maps and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't know where I was going other than, checking an actual map book. And then I pulled up and it was somebody's house and it was in the basement and I had to take my shoes off and they had like
Oh, that's normal.
It was this tiny corner set up and there was like maybe 9 people sitting on a couch just staring. I mean, I guess it's like the original Zoom show, I guess, back then, because it was super awkward. No mic, no, like it was just really weird, and they just
It was a presentation.
Yeah, and they just basically stared at me for the amount
Did
of
they
time
laugh? Was there a chuckle? Was there a no snort?
Not enough to get rid of how uncomfortable the entire situation was. Like not enough. Like it wasn't they weren't meaning to be. It was just super uncomfortable. It wasn't conducive to comedy on any level. But again, I still take all of those experiences because all of those horrible experiences allow you to appreciate when you get a real crowd and in front of a real sound system and lights and all that kind of good stuff. And that stuff you just you pack away somewhere, but it all builds up the armor and the shield that you need to continue in comedy, which is pretty dope.
Are there any movie clips or music videos or anything that you're in that we should check out?
Where have I been? I did a documentary back in the day called Universal Language with myself, Aaron Berg, Rebecca Kohler, Nikki Payne.
Oh, I love Nikki Payne.
Yeah,
oh,
Nikki Payne, she's a darling. She's a super darling. Sam Easton. There's that. There's another movie called Home Again with Tatiana Ali from Fresh Prince. She was Ashley on Fresh Prince. Home Again you can check out, and I've done The Kink in My Hair and a couple other TV shows. If you look you'll find. So but I'm mostly concentrate on just stand-up comedy, which is pretty great. I still love it. Still my first love.
So we have an ongoing conversation with a few people about men's health. So for science, I'm curious to know, what kind of underwear do you wear?
I wear looser underwear. I don't necessarily wear boxer briefs anymore. I don't wear tighty whities or whatever they're called. I mostly wear because I'm an older gentleman. And a lot of men may not realize that's the other reason I work out, is because in order for your fella to work, you need blood flow, and
you
a
also
lot of guys
be able to breathe. It's so sad when you're
correct
just from going up the stairs. Imagine, trying
correct
to entertain a nice person, and you're out of breath in 5 minutes.
correct.
And I'm gonna
correct.
be honest, as a single person, I am not looking for someone who's winded after 5 minutes. That's
Look at you showing off. These guys are lasting more than 5 minutes. I like it. I like it. No, but I agree. I still have a very healthy libido, and I honestly directly contribute that to being in better shape. Like I'm very, very conscious. I don't, I still drink and all that kind of stuff, but you gotta, there's limits to everything. Balance. My whole life is about balance. I like to balance both sides as far as having fun, but being responsible. And I think being responsible is what allows me to have that kind of fun. So definitely, like I said, after I get off with you, in between the soccer games, because World Cup is going on for anybody who watches this later, In between the World Cup games, I'm gonna jump on the bike and hit the bike for about 35 minutes because, like I said, just like you, I don't want to be winded after 5 minutes of the
And your
bedroom
wife
mambo.
thanks you. Your wife thanks you. So,
I know she trusts me. I know she does. And she's actually very, very, very fit as well. And she's,
good.
so
do you find in a successful marriage, which I need to know, is it communication? Like, what's your secret?
The communication is appreciating what you have, like for real. And communication has helped. And it's something that continues to be an ongoing thing. A lot of people think that you figure out, you have a conversation here and there, and then you don't have to do anything after that. And like working out, it's all maintenance, because what happens to a lot of people is they work out, or run or eat properly, and then they, I look great. And then they just stop. And then an inch, slowly but surely, the scale goes back. And marriage or relationships in general, not just marriage, but relationships in general are the same thing. You have to keep working at it. And then when you get to a certain level, it's just maintenance. It's just maintenance because you already know what you're supposed to and what you need to do. And it's not always going to be good times. And I don't think relationships should always be all happy, because just like the horrible gigs, the horrible gigs remind you what the good gigs are like, and the messy parts or the bad parts of your relationship remind you of what the good parts of your relationship are. So again, it's all balance. Can't have the good without the bad. It's all balance. So
yin and yang.
Yin and yang. That's what I call my guy. Yin and yang. No, I'm just kidding. I don't call him that at all.
Yay, Newsload. Okay, so just a couple more questions. What do you want your audience to know about right now? Checking out, December 2022, 2023. What's going on with you?
The best part, I always tell people, check me out on Instagram, Jean Paul Comedy. That's usually the best way to find out where I'm going to be or what's coming up. But right now, actually, tonight, I have a couple Christmas parties, some corporate Christmas parties, and then I'm at the Pro Show at the Comedy Bar on Thursday. Saturday, I'm at the Rose Theater in Brampton performing on a show, and then I do a storytelling show on Sunday at the Rivoli, which I'm looking forward to. It's with Bruce McCullough from Kids in the Hall fame.
I love Kids
awesome.
in the Hall. My God.
How do you not? And they've made a resurgence, which is beautiful. I'm happy for them because they actually paved the way for a lot of what goes on in sketch, and especially in Canada as well. So it'll actually be an honor for me to even share a stage and share a microphone with Bruce McCullough. So and then next week, just a bunch of corporate gigs, and then I'm going to shut it down on the week of the 18th. Oh, and then the 16th, if anyone's in town and wants to show up at that hour, at the Sheraton downtown Breakfast Television, we're doing a live Spirit of the Season broadcast for all the fans and
so we could come to the parking lot and
no, you come inside. It's inside.
Inside.
Yeah, they got a nice one there inside. Yeah,
because much music, we had to go outside.
Correct. No.
We had to watch
the demographics a little different for breakfast television. The demographics a little different. So these people need to be insulated. So we'll be inside. We'll be inside of the Sheraton on the 16th for the Spirit of the Season. So, and I'll be happy to be, with my bromance brother Sid Sixiro and the queen of morning television Dina Pugliese and the rest of the cast and crew. So I'm super fortunate and honored to even be part of that cast and hanging with those people. So it's been cool.
Amazing.
It's been a dope journey, and I appreciate. And again, I really appreciate you, Carrie, for having me on and asking me. So
it's my pleasure. Now, if I may beg, if you can say it loud and say it proud, I love Newsload.
I love Newsload, but more importantly, I love Carrie Anne Stephenson. More, but I love Newsload. I love Newsload.
Well, it's been decades. You've been a delight every time I see you.
Thank you.
Bless you and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, season's greetings, and whatever it is you celebrate it and be positive, be happy, and spread love, everybody. And see you in 2023. It's going to be a good one.
Irie man.
Irie man, everything Irie.
Bye.
Have a great day.
This is the Newsload.